Welcome to one of the most ancient synagogues that we found in Israel from the 1st century, maybe even before the 29 AD. Guys, we are at Magdala, city of Mary Magdalene, and we know that Jesus was here somewhere. Did he walk in the main streets, right here and right here? Maybe. But what we know that he was preaching in the synagogue then, the 1st century, before the destruction of the temple, that had been destroyed only in 70 AD, the synagogues were a community place. People used to come here to study, to mingle, to talk about politic issue, to talk about what's happening in other places in the world, to talk about a tour to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Then you can see one of the entrances. Today it looks like the main entrance, but maybe it was from there. We don't know, but there are some scholars who believe that it's from the main street. The entrance was from the main street, maybe. The synagogue is not facing to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is that way. But at Jerusalem, you could pray at the temple. Then in that case, synagogues could face to any of the place because the only place to pray was at the Jewish temple in Jerusalem, at the house of God. But here, as you can see, there was a very rich synagogue that left like that mainly because we believe that Josephus left it outside the city and, as you can see, built kind of a wall around Magdala, the city of Mary Magdalene, a very strict Jewish and a very rich, strict Jewish place, against the Romans that are heading to here. And that's why the synagogue was survived. Actually, we found one more synagogue at the other side of the street, but I don't know why Israel is not maintaining it. Then, now we know that the synagogue wasn't a house of prayer. After the destruction of the temple, it became a house of prayer. But it's not the house of God. The only house of God for the Jews, it's in Jerusalem. Today it's the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Muslims took it from the Jews, but that is the only house of God. For us, every church is a house of God. Then in that case, if the house of God is in Jerusalem, then look at that beautiful stone that so many articles were written about it, and still we don't know what it used for. Maybe that was the base, and on top of it there was a kind of a statue, altar, and they read the Bible from it. But what is important for us is that you can see the menorah. And the one who built that stone, the one who created, the one who prepared it, knew how the temple used to look like. Mainly because the temple was at his time. And he'd been in Jerusalem like Jesus 3 times a year. Then, if we're talking about the menorah, and I know that someone is actually asking me about the menorah, and one day I will prepare a video about the menorah itself, then he will see so many, then we will talk about it, but that might be how the menorah looks like, and it's very similar to the one that discovered at Jerusalem at the priest houses, Jewish quarter of today. Today you can see the menorah, or in my video of the Israeli Museum that I uploaded lately, or here. Then that became the symbol of Magdala. You will find it all over. We don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. You see the shape of a heart, but still, it's not that thing. Then let's go to the synagogue, and let me show you exactly where that stone was found. But before that, the first room, maybe it was a Bet Midrash, maybe it was a school, maybe the children were studying here. You can see the benches all around made of stone. And look at that stone. If they read the Torah scroll, then you can see exactly there. 1 and 2 places to roll the scroll without damaging it. And only then we are entering to the synagogue. Of course, the roof is not original, but I'm sure that the roof was made of wood itself. And we find here coins. 5 to 9 AD. Ti-la-li-la-la. I hope that you can hear me because it's lots of wind, and you can see now the benches even better. And I'm waving to you. Hello, my friends. Now look at the mosaic floor. Where, Zahi? Don't worry, you will see it. That's where the stone was found. Not that and not that are the original stones. And again, people used to sit around. If we are going back to Jesus, he was preaching. And that was the system at that time. People were sitting around and they used to answer to each one. Yes, he did that. No, he didn't. The Jews still argue about everything that you can think about. And this is the beauty of Judaism. Because there's not only one way, there's a lot of options. And everyone believes in different options, and altogether this is Judaism. And I want you to understand that. In the Bible, Jesus was arguing with so many Jews. Can you do that on Shabbat? Cannot do that on Shabbat? Can I eat here? Purification of your hands? Everything. It's still on. And if we're talking about rich people, look at the colors. Is that where they used to put the scrolls? Maybe, but you can see more colors right here. That shows you, my friends, that that was a rich place. It was a rich place because somewhere there was a factory that dry fish. All right, what's the issue about it? We are at the Sea of Galilee. St. Peter used to catch fish. If you won't eat it now, you have to throw it away. There's no refrigerators at that time. The only way was to salt those fish. And to salt that fish you could do only in one place, here in Magdala. Maybe that is the reason that Mary Magdalene couldn't support Jesus. A woman that supports Jesus by herself, it's not obvious, my friend. Not obvious. And here's the mosaic floor. Beautiful, but the Jewish mosaic floor. No figures. Now, the stone itself is from, it's a basalt stone. You see that it's black. Because this is the local stone. But the table was made of limestone. Kidding. Not easy. And remember, the symbol of Magdala, the logo of the hotel, the logo of that place is that. We don't know what it means. At least, I don't know. Is that beautiful? It's more than beautiful. It's amazing. Love it. We are going to see the colors. Guys, if you've been at Masada, then you know that that color was very, very, very fashionable at Pompeii at that time. But still no figures. And let's walk. Maybe Jesus walked through that street. Maybe not. But I'm sure that he was preaching. We know that he was preaching at the synagogues in the Galilee area. Then I'm sure that he came to Mary Magdalene. He knew Mary Magdalene. Then he was preaching here. According to some, This is where they sold the fish. True or not, I don't know, because there are so many options, but it used to be covered with plaster, and you catch the fish. Maybe they're still they been alive at that time and they sold it here. I don't know, but this is the factory. If that's the factory, it means that this is the power of Magdala. Beside fishing fish, beside lots of agriculture, beside the site of it, there's so many reasons why that place is beautiful. Then let's walk through another street. But that's going to be, you know what, in my next video. Then, no, yes, well, I don't know. Let's continue. You can see an aqueduct right here. And if that is the richest place, then people who lived here lived not so far away from here. And let me show you how rich they were. I already prepared a video of the Dukin Altum, one of the most beautiful churches that connected to that story, but this is a modern story, modern church. And let's go to the rich area, to the Beverly Hills of that neighborhood of Magdala. Look at that beautiful bird. All right, here it is. If you know the name of that bird, please tell me, because I know nothing about birds. And this is an amazing one. All right, we saw the bird. In about 2,000 years, they will write articles about those. Oh, yeah, you know, in so many movies you can see that you're building kind of floor made of concrete, and then the cat or dog walks on it after you flattened it. They call it a Mikvah complex. I accept it, but I believe that those Mikvah complex were at the houses of the priest area. Then, what is a Mikvah? The Jews have purified themselves with water that comes from the rain, spring, and the man is doing it at least once a week. At least once a week when before Shabbat. A woman is doing it at least once a month, a week after she got her period. But if they are going to holy site, they will purify their body as well. And let's enter to the mikvahs, or in plural, mikvaot. The sun is in our eyes, and I will try to hide yourself from the sun, but you can see kind of an aqueduct for water. Why? Oh, look at that. That might answer your question. And for that, we will go to that mikveh. And this is the miracle of that mikveh. When they excavate here, they realize that the water comes from the ground. There will always be water here. Always. Then, to take it off. If not, the water level will go up and up. And there's one here. And look at the floor. Another one is there. Right there. And there's one there as well. And you can see that there's water everywhere. It's so unique, you don't need to fill it. It is actually filled by itself. By God, of course. I believe, but again, it's only me. I'm not a scholar. I believe that that was the Beverly Hills, and people lived here, and they had their own mikvahs. Or maybe, as the sign said, that was a mikveh area. I don't know what to tell you. What I feel is that we are talking about rich people who lived next to the salt fish factory, next to the synagogue. And that place, my friend, been destroyed. Few years before the temple been destroyed by the Romans. 1,500 people been killed. Another 5,000, mostly of young people, were taken as slaves by Vespasianus. Such an amazing thing, isn't it? Look how many mikvot we saw. 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4. And the main road is here. Oh, what can I say? Guys, before we will say goodbye, I want you to see one more thing. But if you want to help me, then the cheapest way to do that is to send that video. And please, I'm begging you, send that video to your friends and ask them to subscribe my channel. There are no tourists in Israel yet. And please write me, I did it. I send it to my friends, and let me bless you for that. Second option, see all the water that goes from there, goes out to the field. They're pumping the water. And one more option is to see the like button. Next to it, there's a shape of a heart. You can help me if you can by supporting me with your money. I'm doing everything for you. I'm trying to upload a video a day. And at the description, you will find more text about Magdala, city of Mary Magdalene. But you will find 2 more links of Buy Me Coffee and PayPal. You can help me with that as well. In that domestic area, I can see now the water. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but it's actually pumping it from time to time. In the domestic, we found 3 buildings, and this remains partly excavated. We didn't excavate everything, then we can excavate even more. We found some archaeological finds like cones and pottery. It dates to late Hellenistic and early Roman period, showing this as a lively part of Magdala 2,000 years ago. And you can see even one of the buildings that have been collapsed. Right there, maybe because of Titus and Vespasianus and the Romans who captured it. But here, the Catholic built themselves an amazing hotel. And thanks to the group that I'm guiding this today. And guys, it's the only group for, actually it's my 22nd day of guiding from October 2023. From the day the Gazan people killed 1,200 Israelis. And from that day, tourists are not in Israel. Then thank you very much for being with me, and I'm going to take a shower. If you do have some questions, comment. I'm waiting for it. I will try to answer each one of it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.